Righto,
Righto.
welcome back to the channel, guys. We have a very special guest in Mark Cosgrove. How are you going today, Mark?
Yeah, I'm good. Going well. Yeah, it's been a nice day. So yeah, all going well.
Righto, let's get ready with the questions. Me and Charlie have a few questions for you. So here's the first one. What was it like playing at the Sydney Thunder, Mark?
Yeah, it was good fun. Any Big Bash team's pretty good fun. But yeah, Sydney Thunder was sort of a bit unique. Out of Sydney a little bit. But yeah, it was great fun playing with the guys like Chris Gale and Jarks Cullis and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really good fun. And we played some good cricket.
Yeah, do you have anything to say about that, Charlie?
No, it's just really amazing that you played for Thunder. Obviously mine and Luke's favourite team, so it's pretty cool to witness a player. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Who was your favourite teammate and why? Mark at the Thunder.
Yeah, probably couldn't just name one. There was plenty there. We had Chris Rogers there for a bit, and me and Buck get on pretty well. Obviously, Gale, Delport, Blizzard, and stuff like people like that. So, blokes I've sort of been around cricket for a while now, and still catch up now and again for a beer and stuff like that. So, yeah, probably one of those blokes was probably up there, or Chris Tremaine was pretty cool. We sort of roomed together while we went away, so which was cool.
Yeah, that's good. What do you think about that, Charlie?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've heard a few of them names before. Pretty big names around the Big Bash and the Thunder. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Righto, Mark. Who inspired you at the Thunder?
Obviously Chris Gale, Chris Gale, to have him around when I was there was massive. You have probably one of the best T20 batters in the world at that stage. To have him in the same dressing room and be able to communicate and bat with him um, and just talk about the game was fantastic. Lucky enough to have Jarks Cullis a couple of years later as well, which was fantastic. Andrew McDonald was there as well, so yeah, there was some really good players coming through the time when I was at Thunder as well. So you could learn off nearly anyone that sort of you turn to. There was some good experience everywhere.
What do you think about that, Charlie?
Yeah, obviously, nearly all the players that are there, really helpful, really supportive, before you go through a game. So yeah, it's good that they helped you out, and yeah, it's nice to see.
As you said, you played with Chris Gale. How was it like playing big like that in the Thunder?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. To walk out with Gal. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool to be fair. Just watch him how he goes about it and just how he just swings that bat through the line of the ball. Yeah, it's pretty cool to have him in the change room. He's a big character as well, and always like having a good time and having the change room more relaxed than maybe some other people. So it was pretty cool to have him around. And he's still probably one of the big icons in world cricket at the moment. Still, the way he enjoys himself and the way he promotes the game.
Yeah, that's amazing. That would be really cool to play with Chris Gale. Who was the fastest bowler you faced in the nets at the Thunder?
Luckily, Tatey didn't play at the Thunder. Dirk Nannis was pretty quick in his time. Um, Big left arm from Victoria. He can send them down decent clicks, so I'll try to avoid that net as much as I can. But um, yeah, probably Dirk Nannis.
What do you think, Charlie?
Yeah, it's a pretty good experience. It'd be good, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Righto, what was your favourite part of playing at the Thunder?
I think the crowd and the fans, and you see how excited they were when we won and got out on the oval. We played some really good games in Sydney, so obviously the derby against the Sixers is always pretty cool. And we always had a good turnout to our home games. So probably the crowd and the fans were probably a highlight. They were supportive and they always sort of packed out the stadium, Sydney Stadium when we We played at home.
Was that at ANZ Stadium?
Yeah, that's it. ANZ, that's the one.
Yeah, it's pretty good stadium, that one. Obviously they've changed now to the showgrounds.
Yeah.
What do you think of that change to the showgrounds?
Yeah, I think it's a better pitch there. I think there's obviously better oval, a better pitch. So anything like that is, to make the product better, it's a good move.
Yeah, that's really cool. What was what was your biggest role? Who was your biggest role model at the Thunder?
Probably Andrew McDonald or probably Chris Rogers. Him being a senior player and we're both living away from home in
Yeah,
Parramatta. So probably Bucky. To be fair, we got on really well and we sort of bounced things off each other time to time. It was good
yeah,
times.
yeah, nice. Charlie has a question for you. What question do you want to ask Charlie?
Oh, I don't know.
What's your favourite game, Charlie? What's the best game you've been to?
The best game I've been to was the Sydney Thunder in the Heat. A few years ago. I don't think we won it, but it was a good atmosphere. It was pretty good, wasn't it, Luke? Me, you went, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it was Thunder Renegades at Monica.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a pretty good turnout. I think it was maybe in COVID times. I'm not sure, but it was a pretty good turnout actually. A few people came down in the local crowds. It was pretty good, wasn't it, Charlie?
Yeah, it was good.
He got a few autographs from a few players, which was pretty good to see.
Yeah, cool. Who's your favourite player?
Who's yours, Charlie? Share yours first.
Favourite player
For Thunder.
my favourite player is Ollie Davies. Ollie Davies.
Yeah, he's a good player. My favourite player
player.
at Thunder is Jason Sanger.
Oh, yeah, Sang's just moved to Adelaide, so we've been doing a lot of work with him in the last sort of 6 months. So he's looking forward to getting back there. He's got a couple more weeks here, then he heads back to the Thunder.
Yeah, how is Jason going?
Yeah, he's doing well. He pulled his bicep the other week, so he's just coming back from injury. But he'll
is he alright?
be available. Yeah, he'll be available next weekend. So he's come back through club cricket next weekend, so he should be all good to go for the Thunder.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so he's going well. He's having a good time in Adelaide. He's making some runs, which is nice.
Yeah, that's really good. Me and Charlie are big fans of Jason Sanger, aren't we, Charlie?
Yeah, he gets around the fans. He's really good. He's got time. And it's real nice to see. He's a good player and very dedicated.
Yeah, he's a good bloke.
Yeah, he's given me a lot of stuff, actually.
Cool.
He knows me pretty well. A few jerseys, a few caps, which is pretty nice.
Oh, awesome.
All right, next question. When did you make your Thunder debut?
Big Bash 2, I think it was.
So is that 2012?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah. Yep. Yeah,
What
Big Bash 2.
What was your nerves heading into it?
Yeah, pretty. It was okay. I think we played the Strikers. I think we played the Strikers. So I knew a couple of blokes from the opposition, obviously, and got a couple in the middle, which was nice. Don't think I got a massive score, but it was good. It was good fun to head to Sydney and play out there. So I really enjoyed it. I had a few nerves, but it wasn't too bad.
All right, I've got a video that I'm going to show up on the screen right now. Do you remember this moment?
Oh, that's in the air, and is it out? What a catch! Mark Cosgrove has taken a blind.
Yeah, I think we ended up winning that game. Or we made it. We didn't make too many, and there were 3 for 100. I think we, that started a bit of a collapse with a Huss out, and I think we got Whitey out pretty shortly after. So, it was a pretty good game, and I think that could have been close to the end of the season. I think that game. So it was good to finish on a good note.
What was it like playing in the Sydney Smash? Did you get to play in one of those?
Yeah, I played a couple. They were good fun. They were big. They were good fun. Especially SCG was really good. Being in the middle of the Sydney. I think we had more supporters than they did there at that stage as well. So,
Yeah,
it was awesome to be the Sydney Smash. It's a different kind of atmosphere than you get. You get the crowds here in Adelaide. It's all one sided. Where the Sydney Smash was sort of had both crowds going. It was it was pretty cool.
yeah. It's always a good derby. We haven't beaten them in a long, long time. So, do you
No,
think?
hopefully this year you got Davey back and a couple of others. I think it'd be a good show this year to knocking them off.
I've got a question for Charlie to ask. Do you want to ask him what was his favourite memory at Thunder, Charlie?
What was your favourite memory at Thunder?
There's a few. The Sydney Smash games they were awesome, but more the friendships off the field. I think, like I said before, to to play in the likes of Gao and Giles Callis and players like that, to just be around them and soak up their knowledge, for me was priceless.
Yeah,
You go into teams and go into different franchises and you get to play and learn off different players, which is what the Big Bash is all about as well. Young kids, especially young kids, learning off some of the world's best players. It's just so underrated.
yeah, I certainly agree with that. How was it playing in front of a packed out stadium full of Thunder fans?
Yeah, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think, like I said, the SCG is probably the nicer place to play because everyone sort of seems to be on top of you. You're right next to the boundary where sort of ANZ you're still 20 metres away from the
Yeah,
fence, but they still made it pretty loud. And I remember going up to the fan zone after the game and bits like that. They're all really excited and like I said, they supported you really well. So they're some of the best fans going around.
yeah. What did you make up of last season in BBL 13? What did you think of our performances?
Not too bad. To be fair, I didn't watch too much last year. We were sort of on the road with some other teams, but look, I think Thunder went all right. They go all right this year, so they'll go all right this year with Davey back for sure.
Yeah,
And Ollie Dave, like you said, Ollie Davies, Sanger, Andrew, McAndrew, are really good
yeah,
players. So they'll be fine. I think McAndrew and Sammy will be the ones to watch out for this year, I think.
Who was your funniest teammate at the Thunder?
Funniest teammate, probably Chris Tremaine. He was pretty funny.
Yeah,
For a few years there. So he's pretty funny. He enjoys it, and he's a big country kid. So he has a good sense of humour.
yeah, and he has played at Thunder for a number of seasons now. He left a couple
Yeah,
of years ago.
he's been and gone, and So, he was probably one of the funniest teammates I've had.
How was it batting in the top order when you did for the Thunder in pressured moments? How do you handle pressured moments?
You just take it ball by ball. It's a bit of a cliche, but you just sort of watch the ball, hit the ball. Be nice and clear what is happening, really. You put more pressure on yourself than anyone else thinks there's pressure on you. So you keep a nice, clear mind, watch the ball, stay calm. Most things work pretty well.
Yeah, it really is, to be fair. How do you think the Thunder will go this season? How do you think the group will change?
I think that'll be good. You've got Wes Agar coming into the fold this year.
Yeah.
McAndrew, Sam's. Who else you got? You got Sanger, Ollie Green, Chris. Yeah. So I think you've got to make up a really good side. So
We've
Ollie
also
Davis
got
and Sanger.
Bancroft as well.
Yep. So I think you got a really good balanced team. So you should actually go really well this year.
Have you got anything to do with the Thunder currently, or are you just with other teams?
No, I'm based in Adelaide, so I work with the South Australian team.
Nice.
So not the strikers, but the men's team.
Oh yeah, they played today,
Shield
didn't
team.
they?
That finished up yesterday, last night.
Oh
so
yeah.
We end up with a draw last night against WA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Charlie, do you want to ask a few more questions if you can?
Yeah. Oh, do you still go for the Thunder today?
Yeah, I'll probably keep an eye out on the Sydney team. I play for both of them, so probably keep my eye out on those two probably most of the time. But yeah, my little one he enjoys the Melbourne Stars and the Strikers, so those two teams are probably on the TV more than most normally. So I did a bit of work with the Stars a couple of years ago, so yeah, he enjoys the Stars, and then obviously with the Strikers being that lady, he's all over Thomas Kelly, and yeah, he loves the Strikers. So they're probably the games we probably get to.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
What was the most embarrassing moment at the Sydney Thunder?
I'm not sure. I would have dropped the catch, no doubt. Everyone drops the catch, so I probably would have dropped the catch, or I was pretty good. I didn't miss many buses and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Few of them?
I'll go. What's that?
Is there a few of them?
No, I can't think of any. I'll probably have to get back to you on that one.
What was it like just playing for the Thunder in general? Like, how did you communicate with the fans? Did you give them any stuff recently?
Yeah, I think most games you'd hand a hat out or something like that. At the end of the season, you have to get rid of your training gear. So, no, like I said, I think the fans are awesome. So, yeah, that was no worries whatsoever. The fans were fantastic. They, like I said, they always supported you, always had your back, and they always stuck around after the game. So, always have a couple of photos and signatures and bits and pieces like that. So, which was really great. Which I was really grateful for. Made you feel welcome.
How does how do you reckon the BBL has changed over the years? Have you seen a big change recently with technology and all that?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously with the technology, the timeouts, your surges change. We had a 6 over surge, now it's a 4 and 2. Yeah, it definitely has changed over the years, and try to make it bigger and better. And yeah, it's definitely going strength to strength. I think the cricket is good. You still get your world class players there. I think obviously the Australians domestically are probably the best in the world. So yeah, the actual competition is in really good hands. So yeah, it's one of the best comps in the world. I think, if not the best.
Yeah, definitely. Have you played at the SCG for the Thunder, or have you played against anyone else at the SCG in BBL?
I'd play when I played the Sixers. We played the SCG quite a bit. I'm pretty sure our smash game was at the SCG.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. I love the SCG. I think it's a really good spot.
Yeah,
it's a really nice cricket pitch. So yeah, and like I said, it's in the middle of Sydney. You always get a good crowd. So yeah, SCG is really good.
who's your who's an I'm trying to think what to say. Who do you have an eye on at the Sydney Thunder? Who do you think will succeed later in the season or in the current season?
Look, I think Wes Agar will be really good this year for you. He's a new recruit. I think they traded him for Alex Ross.
Yeah.
I think Wes is going really well. He's got his game in order. He bowls fast. He executes his plan pretty well. And obviously you got Ollie Davies, and I think David Warner will have a big year this year.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah, and then obviously saying as well, like you've got some really exciting young kids mixed with a couple of older blokes as well. So I think you got a really good mix this year.
Yeah, Charlie's really keen to see Ollie Davies back. How do you think of Ollie Davies, Charlie? What do you think of him this year?
Yeah, can't wait to see him get out and have a bat. It'll be good to see. I've missed him bat. Yeah, it'll be good. Be nice.
Yeah, it will be. It's a few days to BBL, Mark. What's your top 4 predictions for this season?
It's so hard. Everyone's got such a good team on paper at the moment.
Yeah.
The Scorchers have to be up there. They're always hard to beat. They're always around the mark. I think the Strikers have got a really good team this year. You look at their batting order. it's pretty good. You look at who they got. They've
Well,
got Matt Short, Weatherall, Darcy Short, Lynn,
Yeah, that's powerhouses.
Ollie Pope. I think I'm missing
Oh,
a
yeah, in
couple
the
as well.
draft.
Yeah, so they've got a really good side. I think they'll be up there. Like I said, I think the Thunder will be up there as well.
I hope
And
so,
then
yes.
it just depends on the other teams who what players they get, and who's around, not around test teams and stuff like that. So I'd say one of the Melbourne teams. I think the Stars will be there thereabouts this year.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Maxi and Stoinis, if they get going as they normally do, they'll be hard to beat again. So they're probably my top 4 teams for the season, I'd say.
Yeah, I hope so. It's supposed to be one of the best seasons. And also, speaking of the Test cricket, what do you think of the first Test?
Yeah, India played pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Bumrah.
Bumrah played really well. Kohli batted really well in the second innings. So obviously got their work cut out for them, but yeah, no doubt. Listening to Travis talk yesterday about putting in some hard work and refining some of their plans. I have no doubt the Aussies bounce back in Adelaide with the pink test, or
Yeah.
pink ball test. I think Aussies are pretty good that record there. So yeah, I think Aussies bounce back and we're probably 1-1 at the end of Adelaide.
What did you make up of the first Test, Charlie? What were your thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, as you said, Bumrah, he was really outstanding with his bowling. I think he got a total of 8 wickets, I think it was, which is pretty good. I hope we can bounce back and get it in the pink test, but I'm not sure. I hope we can get it done. What do you reckon?
Oh, I definitely reckon we can bounce back at Mark's home ground, Adelaide Oval. As you know, that plays really well, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, it's a nice batting wicket. Yeah, you just need to, once you get in, make it big, get through Bumrah's opening spell, and just take on the rest. So just have a look at Washington and players like that. So yeah, just got to get through our first spell. The first 20 overs is really important. Get through
Yep.
that unscathed will be fantastic. I think McSweeney will be better for the run this week as well. So yeah, I think like I said, I think we bounce back. I think we're 1-1 at the end of Adelaide.
Yeah, let's hope. Did you ever get to play with Shane Watson at the Sydney Thunder?
No, I didn't get to play with Watto. He was still playing Test cricket, cricket for Australia. So I missed Watto. I reckon I was 6s by then.
Yep. This is probably a hard question for you, but which team did you rather play at, Thunder or Sixers?
They both had their different positives, really. Yeah, I couldn't pick between them. I love Sydney. Sydney was fantastic. So really enjoyed Sydney. Yeah, I couldn't pick between them, to be fair. I'll say Thunder.
Who was coaching at the time?
Thunder.
Yes.
We had a couple coaches at Thunder, which was good.
Did you ever get coached by, was it Shane Bond, I think?
No, I miss Shane Bond. No, who did I have? I can't remember who I had. We had 2 or 3, so the first few years there was a bit of a turnover.
What about Paddy Upton?
Yeah, I had Paddy Upton for 2 years, yeah. So Paddy was really good, actually. Paddy was good.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of research the other night about where you lifted your career at Thunder, and I've seen a few coaches in the business with Paddy Upton, Phil Jakes.
Yeah, Miss Jakesy, but yeah, Paddy Upton definitely. I had him for a couple of years, which was really good. He was really positive, and he he was good.
How do you think the middle order for Thunder will go this year, as we literally just struggled last year with it?
Yeah, I think they're such a young middle order. At the Thunder, so they're going to be better for the run. I think they'll be better. They'll have to be better. So another year in, you take a bit more nerves away, and they get to be back playing cricket. Young kids. Love having another go at it. You sort of get tested, then you sort of review it and train and get better, and then you have another crack at it, and you normally succeed. So, I think they'll be pretty good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that we get to talk to you throughout this podcast. We've got a few more questions left, if that's all right, about 3 or 4.
Yeah, no worries.
We're very keen to listen to your insights of when you played at Thunder, and it's been really interesting so far.
No worries.
I've got a really good question to ask. Who do you think's the upcoming star at the Sydney Thunder?
Ollie Davis is probably the obvious one. He's fantastic. His ball striking ability is extremely high. So yeah, I'd be looking for him to have a really big season this year.
Yep. Do you think the Thunder can win the title this year? What are your thoughts? Can we do it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely on the table. Like I said, you've got a really good mix between young and old this year. So with a couple of key bowlers with McAndrew, Wes, then you got obviously Davey, Ollie, Sanger, and you got a good spinner in Green. I think you've got the basics covered. You just need all blokes to chip in and do their role, and then you wouldn't be far away from the mark this year.
Yep. Who's the most famous cricketer you've ever met around the world?
Probably Brian Lara.
Yep.
Yeah, I've met him a few times and had a breakfast with him and bits and pieces like that. So yeah, he'd probably be the most famous, and yeah, he was awesome.
What were your first initial thoughts when you got the call up to play for the Sydney Thunder?
Excited. Excited to go down to Sydney. I really enjoyed Sydney. Growing up, we played a couple of national carnivals there, and yeah, enjoyed the big smoke. It was really good fun, and yeah, I was just really excited to get to Sydney for the sort of 6 to 8 weeks that the tournament was on. So yeah, really excited.
Yeah, that's good. What was your I think I might have asked this, but what was your favourite memory at Thunder? Do you have a few to say, or?
There's a few there. Like I said before, it's all about the people you met and the experience you got, not necessarily on field, but yeah, off field. To sort of play with Chris Gale and Jacques Callis, and blokes like that, some blokes best in the world. That's probably the most pleasing thing to come out of the Thunder. It's the teammates you make and the friends you make that you run into around the world, and you still have a beer and say good day and reminisce on their careers. So that's probably a massive takeaway for me. I play the game because I enjoy it and love playing with my mates. So that's probably a big one for me.
What's your favourite moment at the Thunder? What was your most favourite moment?
Like I said, there's a few probably. Winning the Smash was up there. But it's different. Because you're living away from home for such a long time. It's you're close with those blokes who are living away with you as well. So there's probably a couple of nights that we went out and bits and pieces like that. So that's probably the good things that you should probably still remember these days.
If you had batting tips for a young Thunder fan out there, which I've got a few on my channel, what would you say to them? How do you stay composed when you're batting?
I just keep taking it deeper, keep taking it longer. Don't necessarily have to play the big shot all the time. We always talk about taking the game an over deeper, and we still feel like you need to take that risk. But just being nice and composed and thinking through your game plans is probably the main one. Being nice and calm and being clear and understanding what you need to do is probably the best one. If you don't understand what to do, you need to ask a coach or your teammate you're batting with, and then go from there.
Who are you most close with at the Sydney Thunder? who were you closest with?
Like Andrew McDonald, obviously he was playing for South Australia that time as well. Chris Rogers, Chris Tremaine, Cam Bulger. So it looks like that who were in and around the mix. We were all playing for Thunder and having a good time.
Did you ever get to play with Josh Layla?
Yeah. I got to play with Josh from Penrith. So, played with him for a couple of years, or a year. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I've got 2 more questions to ask. If you had to change one rule in the Big Bash, what would it be?
One rule. I reckon you could pick a batter that have two lives. Yeah, one batter in the end gets to have 2 lives.
Yeah, getting a golden duck and just coming back in.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the power surge?
Look, I think it's exciting. I think the 2-over power surge definitely changes games. I'd still like to see it in the comp in line with international cricket. So he has your six overs up front. I think if that's what we're going to play for Australia, we probably should play it domestically as well. So, look, I think it's a good thing. It does change games, and it can be a game changer. But I still think we should align ourselves with international cricket.
Who's the best player to ever put the Thunder jersey on? Who do you think's the best player to ever put the Thunder jersey on?
I have to be Jas Cullis. He's one of the top 5 players in the world ever. So I think Jas Cullis would definitely be right up there.
Yeah, if I had to pick a top 3, I would probably have Watson.
Yep.
I would have Callum Ferguson.
Yep.
And I would have, for sure, Jar Callis. The way he's adapted way into the Sydney Thunder, he's absolutely been one of the best players to ever put the lime green on. And it would have been a privilege for you to play with him, I bet.
Yeah, it was awesome, yeah. He's such a nice bloke as well, so it makes it even better.
Yeah, nice. My final question. If you got to coach at the Thunder, what would your first initial thoughts be?
You'd have to look at the squad and see what you have and what can work. I don't necessarily need to go sign players, but you should have a look and see what need to be strengthened and bits and pieces like that. But like I said, I think you've got a really good balance between senior and younger players. So for me, it would just be letting them go out and play with a bit of freedom. And look, T20's there to express yourself and have some fun. So go and express yourself, have some fun, and then we can work out from there. Basically, it's T20 cricket's one player can win you a game. So if you can have enough X factors or players who can win your games in your team, you're more chance of winning the game.
Yeah, thank you for sharing with that. Thank you for coming on today, Mark Cosgrove. It's been an absolute privilege and honour to listen to your Thunder stories, and it's been an unbelievable experience. Thank you so much.
No worries. Have a good night. Enjoy your night.
Yep, Charlie thanks you as well, and up the Thunder this season. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, no worries. Go well. Good luck.
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers, mate. Bye.